This is A-Level Computing video number 57 from Pick Computing, and in this video we're looking at top-down or modular design, including those all-important structure diagrams. So what is the rationale behind top-down or modular design? Well, computer programs have become more complex over time. So therefore we have teams of programmers working on programs together. Individuals will work on separate parts of the program, and these separate parts are known as modules, hence the term modular design. Plus, top-down or modular design is a good way to plan software. You get a good representation, some good diagrams and some good documentation. So it's perfect if you're the only one working on it as well. So how is top-down or modular design represented? Well, it's represented using something called structure diagrams. For A-level computing, these need only be understood in their most simplest form, which is pretty straightforward. But if you are a little bit more interested in more advanced ways of showing top-down or modular design in structure diagrams, then check out this YouTube video. So search for the YouTube user that's mentioned at the bottom of the screen there. What you definitely should do though is check out this YouTube video from user Lesson Hacker. This is absolutely excellent explanation of structure diagrams, much better than I could ever do. Just search for stepwise refinement in YouTube and you'll find the user Lesson Hacker, and you must watch this video. It's 9 minutes plus long, but you will really get your head around structure diagrams if you watch this. So if you have watched Lesson Hacker there, you'll know that structure diagrams and top-down or modular design are all about taking a particular process, for example a night out, and breaking it down into smaller subtasks or submodules. So if we were going to go on a night out, we might break it down into this next level of different subtasks or modules. Travelling to a friend's, socialising at the friends, then travelling into town, partying in town, and then travelling home. But each of those could be broken down further still. The travelling to friends might involve walking to the bus stop, then catching the bus, then walking from the bus stop to the friend's house. When we're socialising at the friends, we might read our first book and then discuss that book. When we're travelling into town, we have to do the similar things as we did travelling to friends. And then when we're in town, we're ready to party. So we'll go to the first library and read the first book. Then we might read a second book. Then we might visit a second library and read another book. Finally, we might visit the kebab house before we travel home, finding a taxi and paying for the taxi. So we've broken each thing down into smaller subtasks. Now when you looked at the Lesson Hacker video, I asked you to search for something called stepwise refinement. So let's just find out a little bit more about that now. We know that when we create these structure diagrams, we take our first large process and then we break it down into other smaller processes or modules or subtasks. Now this breaking down is known as stepwise refinement, and when you do it for the first time, that will be the first stage of stepwise refinement. Then we break those subtasks down into further subtasks. So this will be the second stage of stepwise refinement. Now if you're working on a project on your A-level, particularly in your second year, you might need to create something called process descriptions. So this is where in your documentation you take one particular module and you write out or type out a thorough explanation of it, just to make you aware of that, ready for your second year. Now you will get asked about top-down and modular design in your exam, so it will be handy to just think about some past paper questions now. Often in past paper, in the questions in the exam, you're given basic details of a software program. What does the program do? But then you're also given a list of modules within that program. You then might be given a partly completed structure diagram and asked to complete the structure diagram. So often a bit of common sense is important there. Ask your teacher for an example to try for yourself. You may also be asked to define stepwise refinement. So a good definition might include these points: that each program or task or module is defined in simple terms. They're split into a number of smaller subtasks or submodules. These are then continued to be split until each subtask or submodule is small enough to be programmed. So that's a good definition of stepwise refinement. You may also be asked to describe the advantage of top-down or modular design. So here are some advantages. Top-down or modular design focuses on small subtasks which are easy to solve, therefore they're easy to program, test and debug. Top-down and modular design structures programs so parts are clearly defined, therefore they're easy to maintain or change and don't affect other parts of the program. Development can be shared amongst the team. This improves speed of development, and we can use particular expertise of one programmer on a module that they might have some past experience in. Managers can monitor progress more easily because individuals are working on separate components. And code can be reused, and that could be within a program. So if something happens more than once within a program, the code can be reused, but that reusable code could then be imported into another program and reused in there. Bye for now.